Hi folks, my name is Rich, and today I'm going to take you through a quick introduction into PageLens AI. So PageLens AI is a platform that allows you to do an audit of your AI coded or built app. Sometimes when we launch apps, we haven't necessarily thought about all of the security aspects that could be involved with your app, and this is where PageLens AI comes in. If you can see here, we're on the home page of PageLens. We're actually going to dive in and actually give you a full experience of what you get when you run a really cheap $1 scan. So let's dive in and jump over to our page with our scans. So first of all, you're going to log in, obviously register an account. You'll come to this new scan page, and what you're going to see here is you have the opportunity to either select that we're going to crawl your website and discover the pages automatically, or you can come in and import a list of URLs, and you'll come in and just paste those in, one per line. In this case, we can choose crawl website. Now, something we recently launched was also the ability to authenticate against your app. So we store test credentials for you where we can actually log in and actually understand the full experience that your users are going through. What we're actually going to do today is actually look at an app called Placemarks. Now, to give you an idea of what this app looks like, just dive in here. We can see we've got a visually striking sort of hero that's in here, and we've got some other content on the page. What I'm going to do is come back to PageLens, and you can see here that we've automatically detected obviously the fave icon, so we're definitely looking at the right site. We're going to come down. You've got multiple options. Today I'm only going to demonstrate the launch scan. This is where we're going to actually crawl 3 pages of your site, and then you can come down and you'll be able to choose if you want to look at desktop, mobile, or desktop and mobile. In this case, we'll just go with desktop only and come down. Next, you're going to pick a lens. This is optional. The default for this lens is the general audit, where it's a balanced report that looks across your site with a number of personas and reviews all your content of the pages that it's crawled. Next, you're going to come down to continue payment. So with that, I'm just going to pause for a moment. So what we're going to see now is our payment going through, and we're going to see that our scan is going to complete. So what's going to happen in the next couple of seconds is one of our workers is going to pick up your job. You see that it's now been queued, and we're going to do this real time so you can actually see an understanding of what this experience is going to be like. So we can see there that it's been queued for scanned, it's been picked up. We're now crawling the pages to identify what pages are going to be scanned. Now, the thing that you were able to choose is you can actually define the URLs that you want to go and analyze. In this case, we told the system that we wanted to go and automatically crawl the website for these. We can see here that we have now captured all of those pages. So for this Placemark site, we have the home page, we've got a sign-in page, and a discover page that we're going to be looking at. So now it's just a case of waiting for that scan to complete. Now, there's quite a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes in the algorithms that we're running to do security scans and all of the effort behind the scenes. So this may take probably about a minute and a half to complete. So you can see here that we have already analyzed the home page, and we've found 26 findings for that. We don't know what those findings are yet until we get to jump into the report. In a moment, we'll see obviously the second page complete. And we've got that come in now. And then we're going to have a quick look at the sign-in page. Now, quick plug, I did mention that we have authenticated routes. So you can go over and create deep scans within your application. And those are things that you can also do if you want to actually authenticate what the dashboard is. Or whichever is in your application. In this case, what's happening now is that we have other AI that's now analyzing all of the results and the findings that we found. So we're now going off to write an executive summary, we're reviewing it as a marketer, etc. And you can see now we've completed. So we've got a audit ready. We can see some top level figures here. So we got a score of 72 out of 100, which is graded as a good score. Now there was 57 findings across 3 different pages, and we've got one that's marked as high. What we've also done is given you a breakdown for these, which are all short links to the report, around the subjects, for example, of search engine optimization, design improvements, accessibility, specifically around WCAG. We're looking at the security aspects, tracking and analytics, and so on. So let's jump in and see what this report actually shows us. So diving into the report, what you're seeing is obviously a screenshot of your website. You can click that and obviously see what the screenshot's looking like and see what our crawler and our analysis system saw. So in this case, we can see that we also picked up and detected that you've got a cookie banner on this site. As we come down, we can see that, again, we've got the scoring by category. Again, these are shortcuts. And then we've got three options here. We can either quick look at the top fixes based on a look at the story. We've got the ability to jump into looking at an impact versus effort report. And then we've got the ability to look at absolutely all the data. And there is a wealth of data just from this 3-page scan. What we can see here, audit summary. So Placemarks maintains a high performance technical foundation, but has critical accessibility failures and inconsistent page speeds threaten user retention and search visibility. And then we're seeing obviously more about things such as we are not meeting in this site yet our WCAG level, and we're not seeing and what we can see in this report is that we're not meeting the WCAG to AA standard with the color contrast, which is going to really impair our visually impaired users using our site. We're not seeing, for example, we're seeing a large contentful paint. It's a really slow number for this site. And then obviously all the recommendations. As you come down, we're actually going to pinpoint where those items need to be fixed. And you can see here that we've got, again, screenshots so you can see what we're referring to. It'll give you tips, etc., how to go and fix those with a deep link into your site to be able to see which URL that's coming from. We can see here that we've got a missing canonical tag, which is different. We can come down and we can see again that our largest contentful paint is also rather high. With this, we kind of want to keep this under 2.5 seconds. The story view is a very limited view. It just gives you the top level view. If we come into impact versus effort, you'll be able to see here these different quadrant matrices that you can select. We can look at quick wins, we can look at what the big bets are, what we can fix with polish on the site, and what we can defer as items to do in the future. You may see, for example, excessive DOM size, and then if you click on this item, we'll explain the reasoning why. So if it's above a certain amount, for example 3,000, actually Google sees you as having a poor structure to the document object model of your site. So again, you can come on from here, and we're going to go to the all findings view now, and we're going to come down. Again, you're going to have the same audit summary, but now you're going to get all of the wealth of data that's coming through. You've got the number of pages scanned, the total findings, how many of them were critical. Now, critical could be a security flaw that we've identified, or it could be your leaking credentials or so on that we've picked up. And then we've got other items we classify as high. Then we've got persona reviews. So this is where we've done analysis against every different type of persona that we do to analyze how to improve the performance of your site. So we're looking at it from a performance lens, from a chief revenue officer, from a user experience expert, an accessibility expert, a brand expert, an SEO expert, a marketer, and an executive, each with their own individual scores and areas where they think that we should be focusing. If you come down, we also do an analysis of your security headers. So we're looking here to try and get a good score. And in this case, we've got one that we need to address, which is our content security policy. And then we come down further. We also do some checks around your AI readiness. So do you have an LLMs.txt file? This is basically telling tools like ChatGPT how to interact with your app and what information you have. We're checking to see whether you have privacy policies and GDPR consent policies in your application. And then we're also looking at performance best practices within your app. Then we come down and again, we look at content quality. So this is a guide of how much text is actually on the pages that you have. And obviously if you've got low text ratio, then it's likely that Google will see you actually as less information on those pages. As you come down, you can then find the findings. And in this case, you'll be able to go and search and filter those. You can go and filter them by the persona. We can look, for example, at what's our highest item on the list. or we can go and look at them by different themes. So if I want to look at security, you also get info, which don't necessarily affect your PageLens score, but you want to make sure that you're adhering to these. You'll also be able to come down and then look at a page-by-page view. So you might want to look at what specifically is happening on a given page. You can come down here and you'll obviously be able to have this. Another really cool thing that you can do with the platform is that you can come up, you can click share, and you can go and generate a link to go and share with friends. So in this case, if I click share link, you'll also have the ability to specify a password or go and send that to a colleague to also review. We also provide you the ability to download your report as a PDF, and we also give it to you as a markdown file. This, in essence, means that you can go and pass this context directly to your agent to go and fix these for you. Now, if you don't understand some of the items that are within your report, you obviously can come down and there's a wealth of context that we provide around these. Obviously, you'll be able to see the show details and suggestions of what you need to fix. You can go and share this content with your agent. If you want to look up, for example, what is LCP or FCP, you can come to our glossary and simply just type in LCP, and you'll see here a breakdown in plain English of what is that item that we're talking about. So we're talking LCP, large contentful paint. That's all I wanted to cover in this video today. I think we're going to be doing a number of other videos to introduce the themes. We're actually going to do some live reviews coming up in future segments. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the platform.